Well, we've reached mid-June here in the state of Maine. It's almost summertime. So what are the things we love and maybe don't love about summertime here in Maine? Stick around, we're going to get into that today. Hey guys, what's going on? It is your realtor, Nick Isgro with eXp Realty here in Central Maine. Now, as I just said at the beginning, today we are going to be talking about both the things that I love about summertime here in Maine, and those are the most important things, but as a realtor and as someone who's talking to people who are thinking about moving to Maine, I want to be upfront and honest with you about the things that I don't love so much about summertime here in Maine. But stick around to the end. I think you're going to find out that the good always outweighs the bad, and hopefully you will still want to continue your move here to this great state of Maine. Now, if you've never been to the channel, I want to welcome you here. We do cover all things real estate here in the state of Maine, particularly in the Central Maine market. If that's of interest to you or adds value to your process in the buying or selling of homes, or maybe you just like real estate, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit the like button on this video, click subscribe, knock that little alarm bell. You'll be notified every time I put out new content. All right, so first up, what is one of the things I love about summertime here in the state of Maine? Obviously, it's the weather. It simply cannot be beat. Here in the Northeast, particularly when you get as north as Maine, the weather is just incredibly pleasant. And also, if you live here, we've just made it typically through a long and arduous winter. Could have been a nice or maybe a rainier springtime, but when we get to summer, it really tends to open up and become beautiful. Temperatures here in the month of July actually average in the 70s. Gets a little warmer typically in the month of August, being the hottest month on record. Overall, though, it is just a beautiful, beautiful place to be all summer long. Now, we can sometimes get up to around 20-25 days, not every summer, thank goodness, but there have been summers where we've had up to 25 days in the 90s, and that can be good or it can be bad. Sometimes it's not so bad if you spike a day here and there, but I think that a lot of times through the summer, you usually have 1 or 2 weeks where it seems we get on a big stretch where it's just brutally hot, and if the humidity from the coast makes its way inland, that's where it can get really miserable. It just gets hot and sticky, and that's when it does not cool down during the nighttime, so you don't get that chance to cool your house down overnight with the windows open. But overall, I will say most nights, no matter how hot it is here in the state during the summer, if you leave your windows open, it gets nice and cool and comfortable, and you're gonna be able to cool down at night. It's warm enough to be outside, enjoy, sitting by the bonfire or just sitting on your back porch, whatever it is you wanna do. It's gonna be very comfortable, but there are also some of those nights when we get into those super hot stretches that I don't like so much, that just become really hot and humid and doesn't cool down. Fortunately, that's the minority of the time. Now, one of the things I dislike the most about summertime here in Maine is just the bugs. A lot of black flies, a lot of mosquitoes. When I go to camp, if I go on the trails, we even get these big deer flies and horse flies. It gets a little crazy with all the different kinds of things flying around that are looking to bite you. Not always. If there's a breeze, if you stay in the sun, it tends to be less bad. But if it's a cloudy day with no breeze, you're kind of toast if you're hanging outside when it comes to some of these things. So not the worst thing in the world. We don't have all the poisonous things and insects and spiders that a lot of other states in the nation have. It's very pleasant outside of that, but just something to think about when you're headed outdoors in the summer here in Maine. All right, next thing I really love, and one of the things I love actually the absolute most about summertime here in Maine, living the lake life. There are so many beautiful lakes here in the state of Maine that you can live on, you can swim in, you can go boating, water skiing, fishing, you name it, kayaking, canoeing, anything you can think of to do with the water in the summertime. This is the place to be. Maine, when I think of people going to camp in particular, here in the state of Maine or headed to the lake, I really think of that classic all-American picture that you think of even going back 50 or 60 years ago when the family packs up the station wagon, they're headed to the lake. It really is like that in real life here. All summer long. We are fortunate enough we have a camp in the southern part of the state, and we spend a lot of time there, particularly my wife and children spend more time there because I'm usually working with you guys during the summer, during the weeks. But there is just nothing like that beautiful, clean, crisp water in the summertime in the lakes here in Maine, whether you're fishing, whether you're swimming, whether you're just sitting on the dock. There's just a slow down in the lifestyle that makes for a really pleasant summer. And fortunately, if you don't own a camp, there is public access on almost every lake to get your boats in to go fishing. There's typically a lot of public areas and beaches to go swimming, a lot of state parks on lakes to go swimming, and we utilize those as well. We don't just go to camp. So no matter where you are in the state, you're probably gonna have access to living what we call the lake life here in the summertime in Maine, and there really is nothing like it, and it's just the most fundamentally core part of that Maine summer that I can think about. Something I can think of that I don't like so much here in the state of Maine is traffic, okay? In the summertime, specifically here in the state of Maine. Now remember, Maine's primary industry is tourism, so we have a lot of people flowing into the state during the summertime. And if you're one of those people, by the way, and you're watching this, don't worry about what I'm about to say. We love you here, we want you here, but it is good to know that it just slows things down, particularly when you're going to camp. If I'm headed around the Sebago region, for example, or headed downtown Belgrade in the central Maine region, you're gonna just have to deal with a lot slower traffic. Oftentimes it can get very congested in areas that any other time of the year, you're gonna just fly right through because there's almost no traffic. During the summertime, there's traffic just about everywhere, and that's because we just have a lot of visitors here. Again, that's a primary source of our revenue here in the state, and we want more people to come here because a lot of those people who come and visit buy camps here, they buy properties here, and we love to work with you guys when you do that. And it certainly helps add to the flavor that we've got going on here. It's been a part of the state's history for as long as I've been alive, and certainly before that. So just know when you go out, you got to plan for that. Specifically, know your areas, know where you are. It won't take you long to figure out the traffic patterns and where that extra heavy traffic is going to be during the summertime here in Maine. All right, I kind of touched on this one before. One of the things I love most about summertime here in Maine is the summer nights. There is nothing like a summer night here in the state of Maine. 95, 99% of the nights that you're going to be here. Yes, as I described, we have a few times in the year, usually it's late July, early August, you might get a week or two where it doesn't really cool down and it stays kind of hot and muggy at night, but overall, the nights really cool down here, but not to a level that's cold. You can still be outside in your short sleeves, really comfortable. And it's time you go outside and actually cool down from whatever day you've been having. You can unwind. A lot of people have bonfires right in their backyards or in their driveways even, if they have the little fireplaces. Campfires. It's a great time to be out. It's a great time to unwind. Usually when we're at camp, that's when the cocktails come out and everybody just starts quieting down and sits on the porch and thinks about the fun day of summer activity that we just have. There's really nothing like it when I think of, childhood memories and that real feeling of nostalgia for what summertime really means to people and that freedom of summertime. Summer nights in Maine encapsulate all of that. All right, something else that I don't really like so much about summertime here in Maine, it's the ticks. Now, I'm gonna tell you, when I was a kid, there was always ticks here. Remember, if you get a deer tick, you can get Lyme disease, so it's not necessarily a not serious problem that we have. A lot of dog ticks and other kinds of ticks out there too, but in general, if you don't know what a tick is, by the way, take a look at this. I'm gonna flash one on the screen.
Yuck!
Right? It's like a total monster. Buries its head basically into you, and they can be kind of hard to get out. If you're looking at your body and you see this little black thing, it doesn't just pull right off. You have to really get it out the right way. And it seems like over the course of my lifetime, particularly in the last 5 to 10 years, the tick population has exploded here in the state. It used to be just more of a southern Maine problem. Now they're really all over the state, unless you get up to, Aroostook County, you get up to the Presque Isle area. The climate actually is a little bit cooler up there, and they tend not to deal with these problems that we do in the central part of the state, down to the southern part of the state where they're most prevalent. But in general, it's something, it's like every time we go out, it seems like we're bringing the kids in, and it's like, all right, before bed, we gotta do a tick check. It's just kind of a pain and not the most fun thing. I don't remember dealing with it as a kid. It is something that we're dealing with now. Not sure why that is. I'm sure there's a host of reasons. We could get into a whole video of that. By the way, I'm sure somebody else has a video on that if you just put it into your search criteria. So I digress. Ticks, not a fun part of summertime here in the state of Maine. I'm gonna end on a high note with one of the things I just really love about the state of Maine during the summertime is that everybody is out. Remember here in this state, we're pretty cooped up for a lot of the winter. Yes, we go outside and do snowshoeing, skiing, and sledding and those things, but then you come right back in and you're cozy by the fire having your hot chocolate and stews and things like that. In the summertime, people have been inside through the winter. They love to get out, and whether it's downtown Waterville, whether it's out in the Belgrade Lakes, no matter where I am, you're just gonna see a big increase in the number of people outside enjoying the sun, enjoying the fresh air, because here in the state of Maine, fortunately, we have great fresh air. It's wonderful fresh air, and there's really nothing like it. So I love the fact that everybody's out. There's so many things to do. There's just a non-stop list of outdoor activities, whether it's from your own home domestic garden, flowers and vegetables, or whether you're riding bikes on trails, climbing mountains, hiking, swimming, fishing, again, you name it. There's just so many wonderful things to enjoy about summertime here in the state of Maine, and it is great to see that most people, I think, are out there enjoying it. All right guys, that's really the end of this video. I wanted to kind of go over the things that are on my list of some things that I dislike and some things I love about summertime here in the state of Maine. Certainly not an exhaustive list. I realize everybody's is going to be a little bit different, but what I hope you took from this video is that the good always outweighs the bad here. Maine is one of the most incredible states in the nation. It's a place I've always lived, a place I hope to always live in the future. I love it here. I love raising my family here. And if you are thinking about moving to the state of Maine, you're gonna love it. Give me a call. If you're in the market right now, if you're buying or selling and you've been thinking about moving to the state of Maine, or maybe you just moved here, maybe you're someone who's come here from away in the last couple years, we have had more people moving in than moving out, which is a wonderful thing. What's your experience been like? What do you love? What do you dislike about summertime here in Maine? Drop a comment below. Let's hook up there. All right, guys, again, my name is Nick Isgro with eXp Realty here in Central Maine. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And until we drop some more content, I'll see you next time.